Howdy, howdy, people. What's good? We are 1 hour away from UFC Rio de Janeiro. That's about as much hype as you're going to get from me. Hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend wherever you are. Glad to be here. I will be with you until at least the beginning of the card. We'll see how it goes. Won't be on much longer than that. And then I'm going to hopefully send you over to a boy of mine and we'll see how that goes. Hope everyone's well. Cheers. How you doing, Bomb? What's good, bro? I've got to apologize to everyone yesterday. That live stream was a complete shit show. Have you watched Dana White's Contender Series yet? I saw some clips of the fight. I haven't managed to find like a good copy of it. Looked like an absolute war. I need to find somewhere that has the whole fucking thing to be. Oh damn! What 1 minute and I've already sworn. How you doing, Callum James? What's good, bro? How dare you not schedule this? I bloody did, mate. I bloody did, mate. I scheduled it like 4 hours ago. I'm assuming YouTube has fucked me in the arse. 2 swear words. Let me start over. I did schedule it 4 hours ago. I always schedule my live streams. You think, I mean, look at the professional stuff we've got going on here. You think this is rushed? You think this isn't thought out? Come on, bro. The fight is on the UFC's YouTube. Oh, that's embarrassing. I will definitely check it as soon as I get off here. Does it go to full 15 minutes by any chance? Is there a finish? How you doing, Leandro? What's good, bro? No, come on, let it out. Nah, that's all I got, man. That's all I've got. I'm mildly excited about this one. Oh shit, man. What tat you got on your arm? I'm scheduled for mine in the exact same play bottom in November. I've got a few. I'm pretty much sleeved out. You know, it's pretty much all like it's like childhood memory stuff like that. You know, when my son was born, I got this one here. I've got a few. It's basically all sleeves though. Nothing that can't be covered. That's my rule. So I've got nothing on my neck. And as you can see here, I've very strategically placed things so they don't go anywhere where they can't be covered, basically. I've known people for years that don't even know that I've got tattoos. I'm a bit of a snake like that. What the fuck? It did not show me the post. YouTube's fucking your boy over again, I guess. Yeah, it's the full 15 minutes. One of the craziest fights I've ever seen. I've got to get on this. If people are still talking about it 4 days later, then it was definitely the shit. I only saw the highlights, and it looked like a banger. The fact that they both got contracts though says a lot, and both got bonuses. How did it feel on the bottom of your forearms? The forearms are all right. The places that are a little bit tricky are like in the crevices. So like if you get it like here on the elbow on the inside and on that part there, that part ain't too fun. Anywhere where there's a little bit of bone, because you can feel like the needle vibrating. But generally tattoos aren't that painful. It's more the longevity of it. Like when they go into certain details and then they wipe and then do the next part, it's irritating. But it's nothing to cry bitch about. What are you getting a tattoo of, by the way, Callum? I have a feeling I'm going to regret asking this question. I hope it's not my face. And if it is, I'll send you a good one. Make sure I'm represented properly, you feel me? Good old Fight Night Frankie portrait. You know? I can feel your crush, and I'm flattered, sir. If that's the next thing you're going to say. Frankie has a Yakuza past. And if you got Fight Pass, Magomed Zanukov's John Pork fight was also great. I've got UFC Fight Pass. I've just realized, yeah, I could have just watched it there. Oh, this is why I have you people around though, because I am fairly stupid sometimes. So having you around is very, very helpful. Very helpful. So I appreciate you. Thanks for letting me know. In fact, what I'm assuming there's going to be a shitty women's fight to start this card off. I'm going to watch this instead. Get myself adequately revved up for this shit. I just realized, yeah, Combat Casual was on at the same time I am, and I feel really. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have bothered. But hopefully, I can get some of you lads to head over there when I get bored and leave. So it could be a mutually beneficial situation. It's like the outline of a flame shape, but tribal pattern infill. If you Google Rich Piana, I'm doing a very similar idea of pork chops here as well. How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. I hope everyone's far more excited for this card than I am. I've given it the good once over, up and down, and I'm struggling. I would get a Frankie portrait tattoo. Someone's going to eventually. I'm hoping it's a chick, to be honest with you. A little titty tattoo, you know. That's what I'm hoping for. And that's really what I'm doing this for. Once I get a really, let's call her a busty female to crack out the old Frankie portrait, YouTube career is done. I've achieved what I've set out for. I bet on Carolina Kovacevic, good odds, plus 380. The problem is, yeah, she looks like a fucking grandma and she kind of fights like one. She was pretty good back in the day. She was a little bit of a contender. Your boy would have even done her. And I'm sure she would have been very grateful to hear that. But now she looks old. Frank, there's a real cutie live streaming below you. Below me. I'm not 100% sure what you're referencing, but it sounds amazing. Can you Google Rich Piana? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Let's go tattoos. Oh yeah. I've seen that dude looks like a fucking alien. Why are you using him for is it he that has inspired you? I'm assuming you're talking about that. I can see what you're going with. How long have you wanted to get this tattoo, Callum? I know it's not right, but I do Angel Reese. She looks dumb as hell. I bet it grips. Again, bro, we've got to go back to that post nut clarity conversation. She would be insufferable to listen to before and after, and she's not even hot, and she's delusional as fuck. But shoot your shot, bro. I'm sure she'd be up for it. Yeah, but it's women's MMA, so it's worth a shot. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'll flick it on. I'll flick it on in a little bit, just as the card starts, and I'll see. He's saying that below your live stream, there's a hot woman. Oh, right, okay. Who is it? On the next live, she's a gamer girl, I think. I've got to give maximum respect to women who do that, by the way. I'm amazed more women don't try and take advantage of that. You know, enter a male space, get some titty out, and make some real money. Quite a few of them have done that, and it works pretty well. I've got maximum respect for that. No hating on my side. She's stupid. She's like 6'5". The chance of your kids being 6'10" go way up. This seems to be a preference for a lot of people these days. They want to smash these Amazonian looking women so they can have some big freak off kids. 6'5" is gross though. I don't know what all these manga things are called. You mean I'm not sure what you mean. Goths or gingers? Ooh. I've smashed both. You gotta go goth. The ginger girl I smashed was a very, very long time ago, and she was a freak though. I mean, of course she was. She had no soul. But yeah, she was down. It was one of those weird ones, yeah, where it was when I'd come back to London after my first trip away, and I was walking back to go and visit my mum, and she was passing me, and she was just staring at me, and I turned around and she was still staring. I was like, "Well, your boy's in here," and then I smashed her that very night. It was awesome. Got a good few rolls out of that one. But yeah, she was wild. Oh, the memories. But the goth girl, I don't even want to get into because I'm only 9 minutes into this stream, and I don't want to get kicked off here. But if you haven't tried either, I strongly recommend you dip your toes into those ponds. I made that sound a little bit grimy, but you know what I'm saying. Got to make a phone call. Be right back. Nice one, Westy. Are you home? Oh shit! I think she's actually Indian, but with blue-gray eyes. Crazy. Who are we talking about now? Who is Indian with blue gray eyes? How you doing, Exo Raider? Good to have you here, bro. I hope you're looking forward to this card. I've really struggled to get some parlays going with this one. So I've kept it very light and breezy. Goth women scare me. They like butt stuff. Is that true? This particular one didn't. Idaho, I was just talking about you. I'm not going to be on here for that long. Are you streaming for the for the algorithm? You legend. That's why I got to remind people to like the stream. Are you doing a watch party for Rio de Janeiro? Because I'm definitely not watching the whole card. There's no way I've got the stamina for that. I'll probably the gamer girl. Yeah, drop a link. I'll check it out. I'm not really a big you're only watching Oliveira. Fair enough. There's not that much to look forward to on this card, to be honest. Figgy and Montel Jackson should be interesting. I've stuck Figgy on a parlay just because of the odds, but I am not confident. He's been looking shit lately. But a plus 300, you've kind of got to have a go. I'm only going to comment something. So she's a goth gamer girl. Is that what you're saying? I'll probably watch the first 2 fights and then nap and then watch the last 3 fights. I've tried doing that in the past and I always end up missing everything. I actually fell asleep before the Alex Pereira and Ankalaev fight, right in the little break. And I missed the whole thing. So that was unfortunate. I think with Figgy, you've got a bet on him. Montel Jackson's very good. Well, he's pretty good. But with the comp and everything, I don't know. Figgy's going to look like a midget in there compared to him, but he's tough. At those odds, you've got to take it because this is by far the hardest fight Montel Jackson's ever had, and that's when you've got to jump. If you had to fight one UFC heavyweight, who would it be? Ooh. I'd probably fight who's that fat black guy who keeps doing like somersault kicks and shit like that? What's his name again? Fucking hell. You know, the fat one with the massive titties, who's really athletic. I'd probably go for him because I could probably outrun him for like 60 seconds before he catches me and knocks my head off. The thing is, yeah, I wouldn't want a loss to Parker Porter on my record. I've been calling him Porker Porter for ages. Chris Barnett, that's the guy. I'd fight Chris Barnett. I reckon I could stay away from him for 60 seconds. And at least I'd probably get a highlight reel out of it. Frank, she's crazy as fuck. She's crashing out and making weird noises. Sounds like my kind of girl, to be fair. I mean, they're all going to be trouble. They might as well be extra trouble. It kind of reminds me of this woman that I met a while ago when I was in the Philippines. And I met her at a bar and we got talking. And for the first hour, she seemed like a very normal human being. And I don't know how this came up, but she was saying like all the right things, like, oh, I don't mind if my man fucks other women. In fact, sometimes I like to go out with my man and, find other women with him and then bring them back. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, this is in right here. And then she started calling the guy her master. And then she pulled out her tit in the middle of this bar and had like a tattoo with the guy's name on her and something to do with I'm my master's bitch and he does whatever he wants with me or some shit like that. And at that point, I started to get really scared. And then she started getting down on the ground and started trying to tie my shoelaces. And the night just went downhill from there. She does one chili for $25. Oh man, it's so basically she is Vinny the Guinea, but the female version. I take everything back that I just said. I just remembered Chris Barnett at 5'9" missed weight at heavyweight. And that would be the hope. What a fat fuck. But to be fair to him, hella agile. I can't believe I just said hella. It's been a few years since I've done that. Just went to my first job today. I can finally throw them hundreds in the club. XO Raider, that is exactly the kind of guy that I appreciate. You get that first paycheck and you use it to help the most needy. Big titted bitches in bars. So well done to you. Yeah, I was gonna ask Vamos, how much would I have to pay her to get a Frankie portrait tattoo? Or how much would I have to donate? If one of you would ask that question, I'd very much appreciate it. Please share more stories from the Philippines. I don't know if I can. My eldest daughter sometimes watches these streams. Makes it very hard to have the moral high ground after some of the shit that I've done in my life. What I really need to do is stream more when I'm over there. I've got a trip planned for March. I'm going there for like 3 weeks. And this time I'm going to properly plan it. It's going to be excellent. Sounds like you met Tyler Tequila. Tequila's crazy ass. Yeah, to be honest. And then the thing is this, she got like really drunk and started, like there was at one point where she went up to this girl at the bar we were at. And she started like saying shit to her and then pointing over to me. And it turns out the girl's boyfriend was coming back from the bathroom. And he was, I'm not joking, twice my size. And he started going mad. I'd only met that girl that night. I didn't plan any of this. She could have got me fucked up. And I'm trying to explain to the guy, like, look, I've just met her. She's a little bit crazy. You know, I was pretty sure he was going to whoop my ass. And then she tried to make out with one of the waitresses. You can imagine how the end of the night went. It was, the thing is, it's one of those ones here where at the time I was freaking out. I was like, shit, this is too much for even me. But then I've got nice stories to tell about it afterwards. It was an experience. They say they strip for money for their kids, but when I throw cans of veggies, I get beat up by the bouncers. Oh, fuck you know. That old chestnut, yeah. Imagine having a mom that worked in a strip club. Jesus Christ. Sounds like personality disorder. You dodged a bullet for sure. Well, as soon as she whipped the titty out, I was I knew the night was over. I knew the night was over, but I stuck in as long as I could. The thing is, yeah, as much as I like to go on based here, I do have some level of like, I'm not evil. I should have just done the whole, oh, I'm going to the bathroom and just fucked off and left her. But there's part of me, you know, that male brain, and all of you understand this. There's this part of you that thinks this is going to turn around at some point. She's going to give me a reason to be like, do you know what? I'll take her back. But every minute that went by, something more outrageous happened, and I was just getting more nervous. How you doing, Chrissy J? What's good? How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're looking forward to this oncoming card. I'm assuming it's on at like what time for you Americans? 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll never give up talking about how lucky you bastards are. I'm so jealous. I might move there just for UFC cards, being on at the right time. Are you married or divorced, Frank? I'm still technically married, but it's complicated. Very complicated. I'll put it this way, yeah. It was a very, very long marriage. So any man in here who hears the way that I'm saying that knows exactly what I'm referring to. Yeah, bro, just let them blow you. Do you mean that crazy bitch at the, nah, mate. Again, I had vibes of if I gave her the dick, I wasn't going to get it back. Please wait. Please, what is for Oliveira versus Gamrot? I'll be honest with you, bro. I assume you're asking me who you think I'm going to win the fight. The card starts in about an hour. I've been going back and forth on this one so often. I'm going to maintain what I've said the entire time. I think Oliveira's going to win, but only because Gamrot's had such a short camp, or no camp at all, really. If this was full camp Gamrot, I'd be betting on him. But I think Oliveira's going to get it done. And I think it will be a decision. Because Gamrot is fucking good. Or he'll fade later on in the fight. I can see an Oliveira maybe 4th or 5th round finish, potentially. Stay away from the crazy. The amazing hot sex isn't worth it. I've had situations where I've had sex with crazy women, and then trying to get rid of them has been some of the worst experiences of my life. I've had women have major, major meltdowns. especially when I'm in like Asian countries where they refuse to leave, and then I'm literally crashing out. So you're right, it's 100% not worth it. How you doing, Ricky? What's good, man? What's up? What up, brother, guy, friend? Thank you for making it very clear to everyone that we're heterosexual, full-blooded males in here. DC or Lesnar, who would have won? DC 1,000,000%. DC would have destroyed Brock Lesnar with ease. How you doing, Leroy? Good to see you, bro. Leroy Gideon Sparta. That's a sick three-barrel name if I've ever heard one. I hit a lifetime goal today. I did 101 push-ups in one set. I held myself and rested some, but I never let my knees touch, and they were all explosive push-ups off the ground. Shout out to you. I remember when I was a lot younger, a lot like I was younger, obviously. When I was a lot lighter, I got to the point where I could do 125 in a row. But then I started getting thicker and a bit fatter, and it got harder and harder. But if you can do 100 push-ups, you're in like the top 5% of alpha Chad males. So shout out to you. And they've got to be all the way up, all the way down. I use a push-up bar like this. So this is primarily what I use now. I use one of these things. Absolute piece of shit. You can get one for about £15 on Amazon. But damn, they do the job. If you want to have an absolutely ridiculous physique like I do. Are you the oldest you've ever been right now? No. Now. You're right. That was an extremely stupid thing to say. And I appreciate you pulling me up on it. But yeah, Ricky, congratulations, man. That's a hell of a feat. That is a hell of a feat. That is a lot. So what I do is, I tend to do sits. What Exo Raider is saying here, I used to set a target of like 1,000 a day and then aim to do them at any. So I'd maybe start doing them at like 9 o'clock, and then by 12 o'clock at night, I'd have hit my goal. But I've stopped doing that now. I mostly just do as much as I feel like like crack the muscles for the day. And then I consider that. Get you some parallettes, cheap and effective. What the fuck is a parallette? I feel like I come on here just for an education now. I've got. I'm just wondering where I would put them. That's the only thing. But they might be worth sticking in my gym, I guess. I've got like one of those chin curl Smith machines. You know, the one that has the platform in the middle, and then you just raise yourself up like that. How many push-ups did you do on top of that Filipino? Whoa. On that particular one, unfortunately, she got a flat 0. I did end up bringing her back to my apartment, but the night did not end well. She started acting drunk and acting weird. So I ended up putting her to bed, waiting for her to get up in the morning, and then I kicked her out as quickly as possible. I was such a gentleman that evening. I was genuinely worried that if I put her in any kind of taxi, she was going to get fucking raped. She was completely out of her head. Just joining in super late. How you doing, Kerry? I sent you a picture in Discord. Hang on a sec. Let's have a gandaroony. Discord. Unprepared. Oh, fuck. I wish I had hair this thick. But the outfit, that's definitely how my mother used to dress me. Let's see if I can get a proper shot of that. So Kerry's just sent me a picture saying this is a Irish magazine he found that looks like me, a child version of me on the front cover, or in fact is me. I would have killed for hair that thick. However, I did play the violin, funnily enough, and the outfits definitely match up. So I might need to ask some questions. Frankie, you are married. Yeah, that's a statement. Yeah, so I'm still like legally married, of course. Divorces are way too expensive. And I have a very good relationship with the mother of my children. Just double tapped the screen with my tip just for you. Yeah, Chrissy was making a statement. That's a statement. Nah, Kerry, you're all good, man. See, again, this is what I love about the live streams these days. 25 minutes just gone already. Bam. So yeah, I've got my parlays locked in. I'm not extremely confident in them. I'm like I said, I'm in the middle of a dirty losing streak. So I might just I might just tell you what I've done just so you avoid making the same ridiculously stupid picks that I've made. I think I ended up going with Gamrot. Behave yourself. I'm always behaved. I'm always behaved. The thing is, yeah, I'm more somebody now. Like at my age, when I go out and I go to bars and stuff, I mostly do it for the experience. So like I'll talk to women there, I'll give them the hope, and then at the end of the night they'll be like, are you taking me home? And I'm like, nah. And then they get pissed and really crash out on me. But it's fun for the experience. Like I like just going out and meeting people. I'm not somebody who really likes taking women home from bars either. I've never really been like that because I've had a few close calls in the past, and I've learned from my mistakes. I'll put it that way. So I mostly, when I talk about experiences that I've had when I'm gallivanting around town and doing crazy stuff, it's mostly in the distant past. I'm pretty much not built like that anymore. All I've got is a bunch of bad memories and crazy stories to tell pretty much. I've got an easy parlay on 320. Pfeiffer, Gautier, Marab, Zalal plus 200 or something. I should have listened to you, bro. I'm at 248 push-ups for the day, gonna bust out 52 more and call it with 300. The thing is, yeah, if I had better arse genetics, I would do them live, but there's no way I'm ever getting down on the internet and showing you my pancake ridiculous state of an arse, because I'll never hear the end of it. I've got very little cushion down there. I will never let a woman know where I live. And here we have one of the 10 golden rules of picking up women. Never bring them to your fucking house. Never ever. That's why when I used to have fun back in the day, strictly a hotel thing, because hotels have security. And also you don't live there for a very long time. Or you rent a really classy Airbnb one way or another. Just don't have anything that you can be traced back to. But also, yeah, I have very rarely in my life met someone that night and done something. It's only been a handful of times. I've got respect. And certainly the older I got a lot more cautious. You got to be careful where you throw your dick around these days. Diseases are out there. And like I said, I've had those many scary marches to the clinic, worrying about all sorts, imagining all kind of scenarios in my head. And after you have one too many, you realize it's not worth the trouble. Because most of the times I would get like blind drunk and then I wouldn't remember most of it anyway. So that's just a lesson for everyone. Visit Manila and Jimmy up. Bomb, what parlay have you got going on tonight? I really struggled with this one. I really did. A lot of my parlays have like, the fight's going to make the second round, the fight's going to make the third round. I had very little confidence betting a lot of people straight up. I think the only people I bet on straight up, and I've got very little confidence in them, I did put Figgy on there just because, like I said, plus 300, you've got to. I put Jafel Filio on there, which is a bit of a risky one. I put Vitor Petrino on as well. So that's where I'm kind of at the moment. So I've got Petrino, Filho, Gamrot, and Figueiredo. But I've got them in two different parlays. The main event will definitely be a decision. I'm not sure, man, because the thing is, I think if Gamrot's going to lose this one, which I think he will because of the short notice, I can see him running out of juice towards the end of the fight. just because of the lack of conditioning that he's probably gone through. I think Gamrot's is thinking to himself, get him out in the first 3 rounds. And I think he's going to do everything he can to make that happen. And I know we've just seen Charles Oliveira get ironed out, but he is not the easiest guy in the world to finish. He's tough as nails. And what scares me about this fight a little bit is obviously if Gamrot manages to drop him, let's say, and get on top, we all know how good Oliveira is down there. But I think Gamrot's going to be able to prevent himself from getting submitted. So a decision is a decent shout. I just don't know. John Pork's fight was insane on Dana White's Contender Series. I'm going to go back and watch the whole thing. People are still talking about this. That means there's some validity to it. I've certainly got to give it a go. By the way, guys, if you are just here, quick reminder, do hit that subscribe button. Not the subscribe button. I mean, you can do that as well. But definitely tickle the like button. I'd really appreciate it. It does help to push things out a little bit faster. And like I said, I'm not going to be here that long. I might do like an hour and a half, something like that. But yeah, I don't hate a decision in that. What else have you got? XO, are you putting any parlays on this evening as well? What do you think is next for Ankalaev given his super short title reign? He's not going to get the Alex Pereira rematch. I know he's complaining about his rib. He's not going to get that fight. I think what they'll do, they might give him someone like Jan Blachowicz, which is a tough fight because I don't think he's fought him yet. I can see them doing that. Let me look at light heavyweight real quickly. UFC light heavyweight. They could do Yuri. The thing is, yeah, if they make Yuri, sorry, if they let Carlos Ulberg fight Alex Pereira, which I think is very unlikely, but it could happen because Ulberg does deserve a title fight. Alex might just think, do you know what? I'll quickly fuck up Ulberg, so I've taken care of everyone in the division, and then I'll move up because he's got a lot of time before Aspinall fights, and John Jones definitely ain't coming back anytime soon. So he could maybe say to himself, do you know what? I'll fuck up Carlos Ulberg real quick, and just make sure I've killed everyone off in the division, and then I'll move up. Then they might do Yuri versus Ankalaev, which is a grudge match. Yuri proper hates him, and I think that would be an interesting fight. And then you could potentially put the winner in a title fight after that. Did you hear about Conor being banned from the drug pool for 3 years? I heard he got 18 months he got an 18-month sentence, but I heard it's because he missed a bunch of tests. To be perfectly honest with you, man, I'm not surprised by any of this. If he'd been banned for a substance, and we all know he's been on the steroids 100%, he's never coming back. There is no fucking chance on earth Conor McGregor ever fights again. And if I was him, I wouldn't. He's been inactive as he could get. He's been living the life. There is no chance on earth he fights again. Shittest card of the month. There's been worse in here. Shout out to you. Welcome back. There's been worse cards this year. For sure. The one before this one was absolutely shit. Hang on a sec. Let me see. I mean, the one before the last one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Ulberg Reyes card had fucking Jimmy Crew and Ivan Erslan as a co-main event. We've got Figueiredo and Jackson. We've got Luque and Alvarez, which is a good fight. All right, Deniz and Pinto's a little bit stinky. Those 3 fights are better than anything that was on that Ulberg card. I think Phil Ho and Carpenter's a good fight. I think Petrino and Peterson's a decent fight. Lucas Rocha and Stuart Nichols should be a decent banger. Is it a great card? Definitely not, but we've definitely had worse. He definitely did steroids to have his foot heal better. I think it was purely to look good as well. I think so. Do you think Gable Stevenson will do anything for the heavyweight division, or will he even be signed? He will get signed. He's a name. I think he will. He's got a winner. I reckon if he gets to like 5-0, they'll sign him. And I don't think he'll have to go through Contender Series either. I think they'll give him a chance. The reason why I think he'll do okay is because UFC heavyweight is shit. He could probably beat most people outside the top 10 right now, which isn't saying much. So they could put him in there with a bottom feeder, and he could actually do quite well with the singular skill set that he's got. I could see him doing all right. He's not going to be a champion, definitely not. But I could see him winning some fights. So I reckon he'll be in the UFC. I reckon he'll make it there, and he'll probably win a couple before he faces somebody like a Tybura and then he'll run into some problems. Maybe not a Tybura. I'd probably say somebody like a Spivak would be where his ceiling is. Perth was bad as well. You're right. It was awful, awful card. I struggled to stay awake through that one. In fact, I fell asleep before the main event on that one as well, and I never do that. I went through like 10 years straight where I watched every fight of every UFC card from beginning to end, and this year I've fallen asleep multiple times. But that might be as a result of my age, not because of the quality of the cards. But yeah, Perth was not up to scratch. We've had some right stinkers this year, but the thing is, the UFC is getting out of their ESPN deal, and I think I just seen the penis implant comment out. I'm like, this always happens to me. I've got to stop glancing at the UFC 312 was horrendous. I can't remember UFC 312. Let's go back a bit. UFC 312. I'm just gonna type in UFC 312 and stop fucking around. It wasn't great, but the way I'm a big fan of Whaley. I thought that fight was all right, but yeah, generally it wasn't a very good card. Alexandre Tapiria was on that card. Wang Kong won a decision. I've seen worse for sure. Tom Nolan looked good. There's definitely been worse cards, but it wasn't very well stacked. Will you ever get a penis implant when it stops working properly? Is that really a thing? Penis implant. Is that like a penis replacement? I'll just start taking Viagra, mate. I'm not that bothered about sex anymore, man. It's overrated. Frankie, you mad fool. How you doing, Nacho? What's good, man? I'm waiting patiently for Dougie to come on as well. And I've seen that Combat Casual's doing his thing. So have you ever been to a UFC event? Yeah, I went to UFC 304 and it was rough, man. We were all still there until 7 o'clock in the morning. There were people behind me doing cocaine. People were smoking weed in the crowd. Everyone was lagging. I'm glad that I went because it was fun to watch. I thought I was smart, yeah. So I bought tickets very close to the cage. I was like 4 or 5 rows back, and I had a cameraman in front of me. I didn't realize as well yet that the cage really gets in the way of seeing things properly. So I spent a lot of the night having spent over £1,000 on a ticket for me and the mother of my kid, and she left halfway through. She turned to me and said, "This is shit. You're a loser for watching this. I'm going home." And then she left. And she was right. They have huge plans for Paramount. Chinny Gaethje against Ilya, but they might want to get Ilya off on the best footing. Give him a good fucking smash. You didn't have a bump and puff. I didn't, man. I'm not going to take some cocaine or some random, because the thing is, there, me and the guy were arguing beforehand, and he did offer me a bump, and I was thinking the guy's clearly trying to kill me. Hungover as fuck. It's 6:30 in the morning, and I'm questioning my life decisions. I haven't had a drink since the summer. And I went to the supermarket today, which I very rarely do. Because obviously my son's was not too well. He had a fever last night, so I went to go get him some supplies. And I went past the whiskey aisle this afternoon, and I thought I was so tempted to just pick myself up a bottle, but I resisted. Oliveira retires after a loss tonight. Nah, he won't retire. He won't retire. He's still relatively young. I think he's going to retire on a really horrible skid. I don't think it will be an official retirement. I think he'll lose like 4 or 5 in a row, and then he just won't get offered another fight. I don't think he'll have like an official retirement, but I could be wrong. If he loses tonight embarrassingly, he might quit in Brazil. But we know that the Brazilian crowd are really horrible cunts. If he loses, he's going to get abused. Vamos, you weren't around yet when I used to do full card watch-alongs, and I would go through an entire bottle of whiskey. I would get fucked up. It was glorious. I've been afraid to go back and look at them because they were bad. Oliveira will get the Tony treatment. That's what I'm seeing for him. I don't think these guys know anything else other than fighting. Oliveira's rich enough, certainly for a Brazilian as well. He's probably, what, 5-10 million up minimum? He's got enough money to chill in Brazil for the rest of his life and not worry. But it's the love of the game. He's probably got more than 10 million, to be fair. I think I might stop for a while now. Getting too old for this shit, bro. I couldn't. My life has improved immensely since I stopped being a regular weekend drinker. I go to work without headaches. I can get through. I guess having another young kid really helped as well. Charles will leave his last brain cells in the ring today. It's the cold reality that you face as an MMA fighter. The only thing that's on his side here is Gamrot's really good, but he's not exactly a knockout specialist. Charlie's going out like my GOAT Anderson. Anderson's in my top 4 as well. I fucking love Anderson Silva. I miss how much he used to play in there. He would genuinely, I imagine his opponents genuinely wanted to kill him. How many times do you wank per week? I mean, I don't keep a calendar or anything or like a diary about it. Not that many. I have somebody that helps me out with that. I'm a grown-ass man. Cheers. Do you know what's worse, Bomb, yeah? The questions aren't bad. It's the fact that I answer them that's the problem. I just can't help myself. I've got no filter between my brain and my mouth. What would you say is the best age to get a first child? I would say, honestly, it depends on who you're having the child with. So I would honestly say probably about 25 years old is probably the ideal. You want to at least have your own house. Even if you're mortgaging that shit, you want to have a property and stuff sorted out. And you want to have a woman that you know is not going to fuck you over when it's all said and done. So those are the 2 main variables. As soon as you got a woman that you know is not going to fuck you, and to be honest, bro, they don't exist. Because once a relationship hits the rocks, you find that sweet girl you once knew is ready to come for both your balls and have them in a sack. Have you ever thought about getting something in your ass? I've never really considered it. But thanks for your thoughtful question. Are you jerking off right now, you freak? Anderson also fought bums and used roids. Overrated, in my opinion. I mean, Bomb, I don't disagree with you. That some of his wins were questionable. Some of his wins were also underrated as well. The middleweight division back then was really very, very good. And it was more the way that he did it that made it so impressive. Having a house at 25 is mad work, though. It depends where you are, Gloss. Good to have you back. It depends where you are. Like, I'd put down a deposit on my first house when I was 23. But that's the way it goes. You've got to be committed to the game. And if you've got somebody with you who has the same goals and same ideals as you do, and this is what I'm saying, never get with somebody who's broke. If you find a woman that doesn't have a good income and isn't willing to do the journey with you, don't have a kid, and certainly don't get a house with her. What good names does he have on his resume? All right. Let's quickly address this. All right. So we had Akami was really good, Chelson, and he had Stephen Bonner, Vitor Belfort, Damian Maia was very good back then. Forrest Griffin was trash, so you can keep that one. Lates was all right. Dan Henderson's a very, very good win. Rich Franklin is one of the most underrated fighters in UFC history. Rich Franklin was really good. Nate Marquardt was really good. Travis Lusso was very good. Chris Lieben was very good. He has some good names on his record. Carlos Newton was decent as well. I mean, the rest of these guys, I don't really know that much about in the early part of his career, but why would I? But he's got probably 10 or 12 really good names on his list. That Derek Brunson win sandwiched in between all of his losses, though, is quite a problem. Bro, white boys are trash. Russian are best. I don't even know how to break down that statement. Are you making out like Russian people aren't white? He beat Chael Vitor. Yeah, Forrest Griffin, I don't even qualify as a good win. What do I do when I don't know what to study, do with my life? Well, XO Raider, what I would suggest you do is think about something that you love doing and go for that. I say this all the time on my live streams. Pursue what you love first and foremost. Don't put money first. Put your love of something first. That's what I thought. I thought Russian. I think Hai is having a fucking brain aneurysm right now. Hey man, greetings from Germany. How you doing, Torsten Jans? Shout out to your boy Voltamada. I'm a big Newcastle fan. Thank you for the export, sir. We love that man, and I wish him many, many years of success. Hope you're doing well. Why Maunted Takeover Bay Sandy? I can't even begin to break that down. How old are you? I'm 40 years old. Put your dick down, sir. And Russians are, that's what I'm saying. Russians are, in fact, the whitest of the white. He also went up a weight class world champ and knocked people out for fun. Anderson Silva is one of the greatest of all time. He is. The fight IQ on that man and the way he used to embarrass people. He was like MVP is, but like far more active in his striking. Like he would actually go for things. He would do things in there where you just think, nah, nah, nah. Anderson Silva was world class. I think if he operated now, he would still do well. 40, bro, you look like a kid. So you were jerking off and you thought I was a kid. You sick fuck. Nacho, that's easy. Like Hamzat going up to fight Dustin Jacoby. Hamzat Chimaev is a disgrace. He's never going to go up to light heavyweight. He's absolutely lying. And I think he's going to lose his next fight. I'm calling it now. All he needs is to bump into somebody that can give him some resistance. I genuinely think that Imavov would beat him. You look 23. Well, thank you very much. I'm not 23. I'm old as fuck. How you doing, Samuel Wurairu? Hope you're well, bro. Where are you from? Nice to see you here. Like I said, we're just hanging out for the beginning of this card. I'm not planning on being here for far too long because I can't be bothered. But like I said, I'm going to hang out for a little while. He's not... Marab versus Volk, book it. Well, Marab has already said that he's not going to fight him. But I would give him a very, very good chance. Anderson was great, but his best win was arguably Brunson. Let's be honest, Jay. If he wasn't fannying about, he probably would have beat Chris Weidman as well. Do you have a wife? Well, technically, it's complicated. I have 3 children with the same woman, if that's what you're asking. Prime Brunson beats everyone else he beat. Nah, man. Brunson wouldn't have beaten Rich Franklin. No chance. He wouldn't have beaten Prime Vitor Belfort either. People take the piss out of Chael Sonnen a lot, but he wasn't an easy out either. And when he fought Damian Maia was at his peak, and that was a tough matchup for him. People forget about Damian Maia. James Irvin was a monster. I mean, Dan Henderson was an absolute savage. Bro, did you lose your wife? No, I know where she is. I didn't lose her. She's not a set of fucking car keys, is she? It's actually, I've always been calling him Bomb. Is it actually Boomy? Is it actually Boomy? You've been letting me call you Bomb this entire time. Bomb is better. Bro, do you love your wife? And what kind of question is that? Are you trying to get me in trouble, sir? The woman, The woman squeaked out 3 of my children. What is the acceptable answer to that question? Yushin Okami would have wrecked Brunson 100%. Silver was amazing, and the middleweight division then was very underrated. The problem is, with this kind of argument is most people. Anderson Silva got me into the sport, right? So I used to watch him back in the day, and that division was stacked as fuck. The problem is, it's very, very hard to explain to people who never watched the sport how good the middleweight division was then and how good the contenders were then. It's hard to explain because at the end of the day, it's very, very objective. I could make cases all day long for why most middleweights in that era would do pretty well now, but I can't prove it. If you weren't watching, you just don't know. How you doing, Royal King 311? What is the stream about? We're kind of talking about UFC at the moment, but we throw in the occasional dick joke, and then people ask if I'm gay. I get that quite a lot. Pretty sure we found your wife's alt. It's a random nickname. Haven't really thought about the pronunciation. I'm sticking with Bomb. I'm comfortable with Bomb. In 10 years, you're 50, bro. You about to go to hell with me. How old are you, Hi? I'm hoping I can make it past 50. I live a pretty clean lifestyle. But mind you, my dad only made it to 55. But he was a degenerate drunk. So I'm hoping my chances are good. Enjoy the fights, fellas. Great to see you here, MMA hoes. I still need to check out some of your Gummy Gang exploits. Because I've been hearing that shit is entertaining as fuck. Shout out to the MMA hoes. If you're not subscribed, what the fuck are you doing? That's a real G right there. MMA hoes. Shout out to you, bro. You're 40. I didn't get that impression, I'll be honest. Eggs with bacon. Are you trying to make me hungry? That shit will work. Shout out to you hoes. Yeah, I think you guys are too old to remember. It's like the welterweight division. I feel the welterweight division during GSP's era was incredible, which is why I have him as the greatest welterweight of all time. I think most of those guys would be in the top 10. Do you still have hair? Oh, hi. Do you still have hair? I thought you were asking me. I was like, shit, man. I was about to say where. Hi. By the way, yeah. Where are you from? I feel like we've got to get some lore behind you because you're definitely an interesting character. Do you say please Ben Chod? Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly for you, sir. Kuldeep, welcome to the stream. Nice to meet you. I'm assuming you're one of our Indian friends that has chosen to join us this evening. Pleasure to meet you. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. So we shouldn't be too far away from the kickoff. Oh, Sweden. It's all making sense now. You don't have to tell us anything else. You saying you're Swedish is enough. And you're from Myanmar. So you are of Myanmar descent, but you live in Sweden? I'm from Myanmar, wait, hang on a second. Sweden, Myanmar. Are you all right, mate? Are you having an aneurysm right now? Sweden is New Gaza. So you live in Thailand, yeah? Where do you live in Thailand? Thailand is one of my favorite places on the planet. I have live streamed there multiple times. It's amazing. What do you think about the Scottish, I'm assuming you mean Scottish actress who filmed with 1,000 men? I think it represents where we've gone as a society these days, my friend, and it's disgusting. Imagine being man number 1,000, or man number 3, or man number 2. Gross. I came here, so you're Swedish. I'm very confused. You say abusing word off Indian, but that's not my fault. If you got me to read it out, then that's your fault. You ever fucked ladyboys, bro? Absolutely not. And a lot of people always claim that I have. As soon as you say you're going to Thailand, that's the first thing they say. I will say this though, yeah. Men in this country are very, very scared of going to Thailand because they think they're going to get tricked by a ladyboy. That never happens. First of all, they're fucking easy to spot. If you can't spot them, you're a fucking idiot. And there's no ladyboys out there trying to trick you. Because if you take them home and then they tell you they've got a dick, because let's be real, it's very, very hard to hide. they're only going to get their asses knocked out. So that never happens. Bro, Swedish girls are the best. I've heard this as well. I've heard there's tens just walking around. I've heard that Sweden and Russia, random, just you find tens in just the most random places. No, I'm not falling for that anymore, Kaldeep. Stop getting me to hate on Indian people. I have a lot of love for my Indian subscribers, and I'm not going to be playing the game that you're playing. I'm probably going to butcher it anyway. Frankie acting like he hasn't been man number 2 before. I've made some mistakes, all right, bro? Indians are creep. How you doing, Ahmed Foxy? What's good, bro? Where are you from? They all smell good and tight. Lady boys are amazing. Damn, Hugo. Yeah, it's not for me. You can make the argument that fucking a ladyboy is less gay than fucking a man, but it's still gay. I don't think there's any getting around that. And before you ask if I've had any close calls, no, I haven't. It's ladyboys are fucking obvious. There are too many. I've talked about this way too many times, so I apologize to my old subscribers in here who have heard me talk about this. It is not that hard to spot a ladyboy. I'm going to leave it at that. How you doing, Dark Wolf Games? What's good, man? Why do my streams always end up this way? Is it my fault? Just be real with me. Am I encouraging this kind of behavior? Yeah, we were talking about Anderson Silva and how he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. Bomb, who is a long-standing subscriber in here and has great opinions, seems to think that Anderson Silva is overrated. Personally, I disagree with that, but it's a very subjective thing. He fought in a completely different era. The question you should be asking yourself is, how well would he have done in this era now? And it's a hard question to answer because he wasn't a very good... I'm not gay, just a reminder. Thanks for specifying that, bro. We have quite a few gay subscribers in here, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with being gay. It started with Hai. Yeah, this is Hai's fault. This is the thing, though. Swedish people roll different when it comes to talking about sex. With Swedish people, they've got porn on at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't remember who told me that, but Swedish people are very liberated. Do you support LGBTQ plus or nah? That's a bit of a loaded question to me. Personally, I am quite... What's the word? I am accepting of the gay community. I'll put it that way. I've got a gay member of my family, an uncle, and he's a great human being. I don't want to know who he's bumming at night. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see any of that up close and personal. However, I will say this. My ire these days is more towards the trans community because I find that shit a lot harder to stomach. I'll be honest with you. And it's more the fact that all this shit is getting pushed on our children. I've got young kids, or I've got a young kid. And obviously he's a boy. Of course he is a boy. But I don't like the fact that I live in a country where all this shit is being pushed on our kids. It's confusing. Is your uncle gay? Yeah, I've got hundreds and hundreds of family members, you cunt, and one of them is gay. Think about the odds of that. He's getting back shots. He seems more like a pitcher to me, to be fair. He gives me pitcher energy. But at the end of the day, man, it's what he does in his personal life is entirely up to him. My bad. Lane, we've been talking about the card for an entire hour, and it's been really good. And then Hai's come up with his Swedish homosexual energy, and it's just ruined the entire thing. Suspicious activity detected. Oh, that is hilarious. Whoever's gone to the lengths to call himself notification, credit to you, sir. Credit to you. YouTube's got nothing to get. Listen, yeah, if I haven't been banned already, yeah, I'm never going to get banned. Talks like this are fucking regular. Can I ask who is pushing transgender on kids? It's a lot in the education system. So, for example, I've taught English literature at all levels. And I've had to build curriculums for different secondary schools, for example. They insist on having very LGBTQT prominent literature across all year groups. They've got to study at least one element of that every year. And for me, that's just too much. It shouldn't really be forced to be on there at all. It's fucking confusing. It's not. Thank you for subscribing to me, Chowdhury Pramit. Welcome to the channel. Sorry for all this talk. If you're expecting it to get better moving on, you're going to be very disappointed. This is about as degenerate. This is a fair representation of what this channel is like, to be perfectly honest. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm above this kind of talk, because I'm not. Anyway, yeah, I just think it's forced down our throats a little bit too much, pun intended. You get all the fight nights and prelims on Fight Pass. Yeah, you get every prelim on Fight Pass. But then I've also got Discovery Plus as like part of my mobile phone package. So I get every single main event free as well. How you doing, Bocky Bocky? What's good, man? Why I got a feeling you're gay? I don't care if you got a feeling if I'm gay or not, bro. Like I said, man, there's nothing wrong with being gay, yeah. I've got nothing against it. But it's just not for me. And I've stated multiple times, I would probably have an easier life if I was. Namast, I am from India. Namast, where are you from in India? Shubh Jaiswal, nice to meet you. As for transgenders being responsible for mass shootings, are you in the US? No, I don't prescribe to that at all. Mass shootings were going on long before the whole transgender shit was going on. I'm just saying the transgender thing kind of freaks me out. And it's mostly when it's being pushed on the younger generation. I don't think anyone should be making a decision about what gender they are until they get to a certain age. You would be the perfect wife for black men. Multiple black men. What the fuck have I done to you? Delhi, wow, man. I've never been to India, but if I ever went, Delhi would be as low down on the list as possible. Mostly because I've heard Delhi is beautiful culturally and obviously has some, has some landmarks and cultural sites that you need to see, but I've heard it's so overcrowded. And I don't know how I would handle that. I've been buying the pay-per-views lately, sick of streams dying and buffing during the fights. How much are pay-per-views in Australia, Nacho? How are you doing, Lucas Silva? Are you shouting your age or are you having some kind of mental breakdown right now? I would love to meet Frankie in person. Bro, if you come to the UK, I am always welcome. I will always welcome you for a beer. Every time. This to me is not just a community, it's now a way of life. If you visit India, you will become famous or become God. Indians are over white people. We're not that impressed anymore. We're not that impressive anymore. I did go to a Filipino village one time, which was absolutely out in the middle of nowhere. And I felt what it was like to be a celebrity of sorts. And I really enjoyed it. Everyone was stopping in the street staring at me. It felt amazing. Sometimes I feel like a black woman trapped in a white man's body, filled with Krispy Kreme in the heart. How you doing, James SW? Your profile picture makes that statement even funnier. Shout out to you, sir. Welcome to the channel. I agree, until you reach a certain age, you shouldn't be able to change your gender. To say transgenders freak you out would imply that you're transphobic. I'm just being honest, man. I find the whole thing very, very difficult to understand. I'll put it that way. Where is your mustache, body? You look like a fucking gay who sell his ass for pennies. I'll be honest with you, Cricket. I can't grow a mustache very well. It would take me several months, but I save a lot on shaving foam and razors. And fortunately, I'm quite decent looking. So I don't need a beard to cover my face, unlike you, cunt. And if I was going to sell my ass, it wouldn't be for pennies. Your community is madhouse, Frank. It goes this way sometimes. How you doing, Zach? With no hat? Nice. Rhymes. This chat is freaky and I love it. It's anything goes at Fight Night Frankies. This is just how we roll. Hey up, bruv. How you doing, that guy Kyle? Or as you spell it, Clayi. Nice to see you, bro. Do you know Ambani's? I do not. I do not know what that means. When the chat gets like this, I stop saying please like and subscribe, because then I realize my chat is going to be overtaken by complete degenerates and I'm going to have to put up with this every single time I come online. A mustache was actually prominent for guys back in the day. Yeah, I don't have very good facial hair genetics, I'll be honest. Can you twerk? I've got no arse, sir. I've already discussed this. And I'm male. Can I ask you a really stupid question? There are no stupid questions in this chat, sir. You look like Joss Butler. Who the fuck is Joss Butler? I kind of want to check this out, but I'm nervous too, but I'm going to do it anyway. Joss Butler. I'm assuming that's the wrong guy. Let me get this right. Hang on a second. Joss Butler. Is that a cricketer? Prominent for gays. Hello, how you doing, Greta Garbage? I'm pretty sure I've seen you in here before, and if not, welcome. What home workout would you recommend without weights or gear? So that guy, Clay, or Kyle, as I'm assuming you meant to be, get a push-ups bar, much like this. Get something like this. You can get them for $15 on Amazon. And as you can see, they work out all the key areas. Get a push-ups because it gives you good core strength and it works out the glamour muscles like your shoulders, traps, and of course the old biceps. So get that done. I like you. Thanks very much, James W. Do you spell color or color? I spell it like an actual English human, not like an American retard. Like that. Pull-up bar is the best. I've got one of those as well, but I've done my shoulder doing that a couple of times. But I've got one of those Smith machines that do pull-ups on, and they are fucking amazing. Sound, I'll get on that now. And by the way, that guy Kyle, don't set the amount too much. Just do as many as you can. Start low, and then gradually work your way up. So say to yourself, for example, right, I'm gonna do 20 push-ups today. And then do that for a couple of weeks and then up it to 30, then up it to 40, and just gradually move your way up. Because if you go all out and you fuck yourself up, you're not going to want to do it anymore and you're going to give up. Rome was not built in a day, sir. Why you're cute, you make me gay. It's one of my special powers. How many languages do you know? One, and I'm barely good at that one. Sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, me too. I'm an American. I spell check too, like that. But my grandfather was Canadian, so you were saved. Spelling check like this is the most retarded thing I've ever seen. Also, while we're on the topic, this is how you should spell. Where's the fucking arrow? This is how you should spell aeroplane. You fucking American retards. Jesse Pinkman, whoa, I've heard this a lot as well. It's like I said, man, I look like according to my community, I look like 1,000 different people. It's really confusing. But how you doing, Prince Gammo? I am British technically. I'm from Ireland, but I grew up in England. Where your wife, bro? How the fuck would I know? How the fuck would I know? I'm not a fucking daddy, apart from on weekends. I like airplane though. I gave out about airplane multiple times, and then an American put me in my place and reminded me that they invented the word. So I kind of got put in my place on that one, and rightfully so. Cereal or porridge? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a porridge eater now. I eat porridge every morning, and it's amazing. Want to cook some meth? I have a feeling, yeah, that if I ever tried to do it, I would be unnaturally good at it. Ireland is British. King Carl, get out. There's no quicker way to piss off an Irish person than to say we're British. Now, those Northern Irish cucks, they're British, and they chose to be that way. We are on our own island. Ireland is its own thing. Porridge with honey is sick. Yeah, I fuck with honey every morning. Not honey. I fuck with porridge every morning before I go to work. and it does me real good. I'm sounding like a right fucking mongoloid right now. I apologize. No, sick is the right word, Bomb. You nailed it, bro. But I do call a bathroom a lavatory. I don't think I've ever used the word lavatory. It is, though, by law. No, it's not, King Carl. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No. I heard you're dipping that goddamn snuff. I've never done drugs in my life, sir. Willingly, anyway. Unless you count weed, and nobody counts weed. Do you like Deutschland, Germany? Germany's an amazing country. Super clean. And German people are actually secretly very funny. They got a really good sense of humor. You're British, mate. Ireland's not a real country. They speak English there. Think about it. It hurts me that you're correct. But we're very different. You know what? Forget it. You win. Fine. Whatever. I'm not falling into that trap. I'm not saying what language we speak. Yes, we speak English. You win. Fuck you. Do you have a girlfriend? No. No, I have a wife. And I've got 3 kids. I'm much older than you think. Ireland has a native language. Why is chat so dumb today? The problem is, Ribovix, he's got a point. There is probably nobody in the entire world who speaks just Gaelic, which is the language of Ireland. Nobody just speaks that language. There are some people who can speak Gaelic, but they definitely speak English as well. So he's kind of got us on that one. I'll give it to him there. What's your favorite football team? I am a supporter of Newcastle United, sir. Proud, lifelong Newcastle United fan. If you'd asked me that about 10 years ago, I would have denied it. I would have said I don't like football. So I'm only proud when we're good, like a real Chad. Where men are men and the sheep are scared. You're thinking of Wales, sir. Shout out to my Welsh sheep shagging brothers out here. Give me water. You want water? I wish it was transferable. Thank you, sir. That's all I wanted. Rule Britannia and all that, sir. King Carl, fuck you, bro. You've got us on that one. Why Uncle Trump didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize? I think it's because of all the stuff he's done that's kind of cancelled it out, to be honest. Because the Nobel Peace Prize wasn't good enough for Trump. Rule Britannia. Britain ruled the waves. Yeah, we certainly did a number on the Indian population, that's for sure. We need to start giving that some of that shit back before it gets political. If you go into the British Museum, like 50% of that shit is stuff that we blatantly stole from India. The best thieves in the world. How you doing, Royston Rodriguez? What's good, brother? Like I said, if you are in here for the first time, you don't necessarily have to subscribe to me because I don't really deserve it, let's be honest. This has been another shit show of a stream. However, throw your boy a like. It's free. And you'll never have to hear from me again. Bro, why did you block me on Jerkmate? I can't see your profile anymore. What the fuck is Jerkmate? I'm going to pretend like I don't know what that is. Nice to meet you, Shailen Patel. I really love that we get a good Indian representation up in here. And sorry if I'm jumping to conclusions here. I'm just going to say I'm British from now on. Me saying that I'm Irish and then moved to England when I was very, very young is confusing a lot of people. I'm just going to say I'm British. Fuck it. I mean, we all speak English anyway, so screw it. Britain didn't steal anything. It's all alone, mate. King Carl, where are you from? I need answers. Because now that I've realized how easily you can beat me, I'm just going to join. Limey Justice. Cheers. Good to see Trump 2028. I'll be honest with you, yeah. I'm not like a Trump fan. But if I was in America, I probably would have voted for him just because he's funny and he's based. They're all dumb bullshitters anyway, and they're all liars. So you might as well vote for the cunt who's funny. Watch the Dana White Contender Series fight. I'm going to do that very, very soon. Has the card started yet, by the way? Come to Germany. We want you. I've visited Germany a few times. Oh, you're from... Oh, my God. King Carl. Look at... You disgraceful little cunt. Look at your flag, you little cuck. Giving it to the Irish, yeah, when you've got our flag, you fucking scum. I can't believe I let you gain a victory over me. You are literally as far away from Britain as you could possibly get, and you've got our shit plastered all over your flag. You absolute cuck. At least we have our own flag. By the way, shout out to New Zealand as well. What a beautiful country. He's not based. He sucks off Israel. And Russia too, let's not forget. Proud colonial citizen, mate. Oh, you are one to keep around here. Shout out to you, King Carl. We are not asking anything back. Past is past. Fuck it. We are already doomed. Well, Monarch, at least at least most of your homes have a toilet now. Did Modi come through on that promise? I thought that was the most genius presidential campaign I've ever seen. A toilet in every house. Darth is gonna Lady Z up the ring. Peace. Later, bro. Take it easy, Needless. Good to see you here, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, I think when you've owned something for a certain period of time, if you can't come back and get it yourself, it's over. Go on, England. So that guy, Kyle, I want you to keep me updated here on your journey. I want to see you go from skinny to Chad, and it all started here. I recently started eating raw meat only, and I feel amazing. The thing is, yeah, I know that Rogan pushed that quite a bit. Apparently, he's backed up on that quite a little bit. I saw an interview with Terence Crawford, and he mentioned how he had really bad back problems because he ate too much beef. And I've stopped eating beef as much, and my back problems are starting to leave me. So there may be some truth to that. Watch out what you're doing. It might have some immediate results, but the long term, I don't imagine it will do that well for you. Just be careful, sir. Fucking unintentional roast, mate. Good one. Most of my roasts are unintentional. I will try to come back. I've been adjusting my diet and need to home workout. I'm telling you, man, start with the push-up board. You will not regret it. I started doing it about 10 years ago. And I'm not saying I'm massive or anything now, but I'm in decent shape for a 40-year-old. And I'm strong as a fucking bull, mate. Why not cook it? It tastes better. I would literally bite a cow's ass. That's how rare I like my meat. I'm sick of getting cooked from King Carl. In fact, King Carl, unsubscribe, bro. I don't need somebody around who's going to constantly fucking mog me at every opportunity. Your back hurts from holding your majesty's banner high in Ireland. This fight isn't over, bro. I'm telling you, we've got enough Irish sneaky spies all over the place. I would know I'm one of them. England is imploding from the inside. Don't hate each other, please. Spread peace and love each other, despite having different nationality, race, and religion. I completely agree with you, Wahid. I completely agree with you. And we all love each other here. What you've got to understand about being a man, Wahid, is real men take the absolute piss out of each other. I usually go shit on Moon. Who need toilets thanks to Modi? Wow. We're on the same side, King Carl. We are on the same side. I appreciate you turning up today. I really do. The first fight just started. All right, let's jump over to UFC. Let me just get this sorted out. Of course, I know what MOG means. It might mean something different in your country, though, so I need to be careful how I use that. All right, the first fight has just started, and it is. Oh, it's actually males. Lacerda versus Oliveira. I'm glad I didn't bet on this one. Modi is a scam. I've got to be honest with you, Vinny. They're all a scam. Anyone that you voted for was gonna fuck you over one way or the other. It's just, are they gonna use the lube or not? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. All right, well, we've got Oliveira and Lacerda are currently dating in the cage right now. They're on their first date. There's a lot of There's a lot of like touching of each, like touching each other's feet, a bit of hugging. And now Oliveira has thrown him down onto the bed and is about to enter third base. 40 quid. Are you mad? It's only a bottle of water, isn't it, governor? How you doing, Albino Rhino? That might be the best name I've heard today. My neighbor is called Roger. I've never met his uncle. Well done. Well done. Stevie England, nice to see you here, bro. Where are you from in our great nation? No lube, it will hurt. So you'd rather just know what you're getting into, yeah? That's what it comes down to whenever we vote for somebody. It's either going to be lube or no lube. You're getting fucked in the ass one way or another. I voted for the new Polish president. He seems decent. Come back in 5 years, bomb, or maybe even 2 years, and you're going to be singing a different tune. I love Poland, though. You guys are as straightforward as it gets about your beliefs. And I absolutely love it. Don't hate India by hating Modi. Modi and India are two different things. Of course they are. I don't really know that much about Modi, to be fair. I was just more talking about how the campaign was fucking genius. And they are about to enter third base. It looks like Lacerda has reversed and has decided he's the man in this scenario. And he is going he's going to start with 2 fingers and possibly move to 3. He is positioning himself. Oh, he's actually elbowing him in the head. Date's over. We're at the domestic violence stage of the relationship. Finally. Lacerda's finally taken advantage. My brother just fought in a national judo tournament. I'm preparing for taekwondo. It's been 2 years. Damn, that's tough. Taekwondo is a really good sport. Unfortunately, it's useless on the streets. Unless you agree to some kind of point fighting situation beforehand. And it's only really useful if you fought somebody who's not trained. Indian street food made me question visiting India. You take a risk with any street food wherever you go. Your face looks like it was fucked up by an Indian man. Why an Indian man? That's a very strange thing to say. Are you unaware of the pecking order, sir? Do you need me to remind you of who you are? I'm not saying he's a genius or anything, but he's already taken steps of reducing the preferential treatment of Ukrainians, which has been a problem. Yeah, they let a lot of Ukrainians into the country. I think Poland, I think it was like 2 million Ukrainians entered the country. Rasul Mahmad, gay lovers, the Zoot, Google it. Jesus, Zoot. I'm not reading that whole thing. Oliveira is getting his fucking ass whipped right now. He's getting absolutely destroyed. John Jones would probably fight his wife before fighting Tom. He already has, mate. Do it. Do what? I think he's cute. Who's cute? What's the time in your country now? It's currently 9:20 in the evening, so not that late. This is actually a good time for a card to start for me. And it's only going to be like a 5-hour card, so it should be over like 2 o'clock in the morning, which isn't that bad. They quickly forgot what we did to them during the British Raj. Praying for you all over the world. How you doing, Naomi? Nice to meet you. So yeah, Chowdhury. I'm assuming for you, Chowdhury, it's like 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Nowadays, Muslims in London start fucking English. You clearly have never been to England. The Muslim population in England is just several million. It's a very, very small percentage. Missing weight by 8 pounds is Kelvin Gaston on levels of piss take. It absolutely is. How you doing, JPL? I've laid my marker down on silk pajamas today, and I've gone for a couple of risky ones. If you are somebody who wants to be involved in an MMA picks community, check out the description, silkpajamas.vip. It's a great community where we all make our picks and then we all make fun of each other. It's brilliant. Head over there. It's growing by the day. This is not a paid sponsorship. It's just a website that I fully believe in. Roger is a cat guy. I've never met him or his cat, so it's purely... Stevie, where are you from, sir? And where are you from in England? I pray you read your Bible and seek Jesus. I was raised as a Roman Catholic, and that shit never leaves you, but I haven't set foot in a church in about 10 years. I'm watching Matilda, and that cake scene is making me so hungry. Yeah, that chocolate cake does look sensational. I think everyone had chocolate cake after watching that scene. I'm thinking of switching the sport. What should I do? What sport are you currently doing now? You're doing taekwondo, yeah? If I was you, Monarch, I would do, if you're interested in a striking sport, I would do Muay Thai. It's not a paid sponsorship, no. It's a free site. A friend of mine actually runs it, and he's running it very well. It's just a good Pix community site. There's no money involved. So Monarch, I would do, because you've already got a striking background, I would do Muay Thai. Muay Thai is basically like Taekwondo, but it's actually valuable. It actually sets you out to hurt people. So no, to answer your question that you answered earlier, Wahid, I wouldn't say I necessarily support it, but I would say that I think that people should be able to date whoever they want as long as they're doing it correctly. Correctly. Jesus Christ, I'm a professor. Anyway, respect the mandem. How you doing, Marco? Marco, mandom. Do you mean mandem? You must be British. I thought you won't be live today because your last few stream schedule is live, 2 days break, then live. Yeah, the Bruce Bogtrotter cake is fucking sensational. No, I usually do go live on a Saturday. It kind of depends on what my Muay Thai is like Taekwondo, but it's nothing like it. Yeah, Muay Thai is basically like it's more about hurting people, whereas Taekwondo is more about point fighting. So I mean, they are very different. Obviously, the techniques used and everything are very, very different, but it is more kick heavy. Become a black belt in judo, ludo, and cluedo. But judo is actually really good, man. I did judo as a kid, and it's very useful because you can be a smaller person, and then you can use somebody's weight against them. And in what case is that better than taekwondo? Because Monarch, you're trained in Muay Thai to actually hurt people, to do damage, whereas in taekwondo it's all about point fighting. There are things you'll do in taekwondo technique wise that wouldn't that's not really going to hurt anyone. I'll keep it real. I've got a student of mine who's a black belt in taekwondo, and he gets beaten up by regular norms all the time. What is your occupation? I am a professor of literature. How was the day, Frankie? It was fine, you know. I spent most of the day with my son. He's got a little bit of a fever, so I put him to bed early. But I spent most of my day planning lectures and stuff. So it was fine. Went to the supermarket. My brother is saying I should join judo. Why don't you do both? If you do judo and Muay Thai, you have a greater chance of whooping his ass, which I'm assuming is the goal here. Which university did you study at? I went to Brunel University, which is technically in London. It's in a place called Uxbridge. Oh, have we got a submission? All right, if you bet on Lacerda, you have come up trump, sir. Submission by Lacerda. It looked like an armbar. I wasn't really paying attention. Ever taken a tiddlywink to the eyeball? Every British person has. Is that like a euphemism for taking a cum shot in the face? In which case, I have never done that, I swear. Is his arm snapped? Oh dear. Which university professor? I cannot tell you where I work for obvious reasons. I don't want to dox myself. And also, I don't want my workplace to know what I do during my spare time. They would be very disappointed. Should I switch from kickboxing to grappling? It depends on what you're using it for. Sir, who is your favorite writer? I would say there are writers that I enjoy that I read in my spare time, but I would have to give it to George Orwell because I got into George Orwell literature when I was very young. I started reading his books when I was about 8 or 9, and that's where my love for literature started. It was a combination of like George Orwell and like Roald Dahl. So I have to give credit to them for getting me into reading in the first place. So I would go for them. Why do you have to switch? Just that's what I'm saying, Bomb. Do it all. Why have you not studied university? Is the university not good? My grades weren't good enough to study there, I would say. And I came from a very poor background. So I got all B's in my A levels, and that wouldn't have been good enough to get me into Oxford. I didn't really try that hard, to be honest. But Brunel was a very good university, and I'm happy I went there. And the women there were astounding. So, what's your opinion on J.K. Rowling? I read the books when I was a teenager. She seems pretty based, sticks to her principles. I think Harry Potter was a very lucky series, and it's not that revolutionary, but it did very well. So fair play. Thoughts on 1984? Um, this is gonna sound weird, yeah. It's a tough book to read, but because of what it did, it's very, very important. I find Winston to be a very miserly, boring cunt, and it's hard to read because the protagonist is so dislikable. But having said that, it was a revolutionary piece of work that should be read by anybody. Fyodor Dostoevsky, what are your views on him? Crime and Punishment is one of my favorite books as well. It took me a little while to get into it. It was another one of those books I had to, because I read it about halfway through and then got bored, and then went to go back and read it about 6 months later and forgot what I was reading, and then had to go back to the start. But it's again, it's a masterpiece. One of the greatest authors to ever live. The mind is the best tool to get out of a poor background, 100%. Is kissing your homie's balls goodnight gay? What do you mean by goodnight gay? It's just gay, bro. But if that's what you're into, fair play to you. Octogram, why do you always come in here and pull this shit? And thank you for coming back. I brought this on myself by asking you to subscribe. Love from Afghanistan, the graveyard of America and Russia. Yeah, bro. Sorry about that. But I'm from neither of those places, so I hope you will give me a fair shake. I am reading Camus lately, maybe some basic novels in the future. Thoughts on Animal Farm? Animal Farm is the book that got me into reading. Because I don't know, it made me realize that there are multiple ways of seeing a story. There are multiple depths to reading a story. Bro, you look like a very sincere and disciplined guy. May God bless you. Thank you very much, Wahid. I may be retarded. I may say some things that are downright stupid at times, but at least I am real. Freddy Krueger scared the shit out of me as a kid, but I still loved A Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you like Lord of the Flies? Yeah, I have taught it in the past. And some of William Golding was the one who was the author of that, right? I'm pretty sure. It's a very important literary work. And when you understand the context behind it, it's even more deep. So yeah, it's a good book. I will say though, yeah, the film was absolute dog shit. The book is far better than the movie, but that often just happens to be the way. I saw the film; it was disgusting. Thank you, Stevie England. I'm glad you echo how I'm feeling. Just to crystallize my morals and behavior. Fair enough. I mean, you've got to have an outlet somewhere, and I'm glad you've chosen my channel as a venue to do that. What's up, bro? Why did you change back your channel's name? I didn't. I think what it's got my tag in there. So it has at Bad MMA Math in the tag, but that's not the name of my channel. The name of my channel is still Fight Night Frankie. All right, the granny lady's fighting next. Karolina Koklevich is now fighting. William Golding, yeah. I haven't read many more of his books, and I heard that he passed away a couple of years ago. I mean, he was old as fuck, so it's bound to happen, but still. How many days left for you to become birthday boy? I think it's about 20. I think it's literally 20 days. So it's under 3 weeks and I'm going to be 41. Do you teach Beowulf? I've never taught Beowulf. I think they more do it at key stage 3 level now, which would be pre GCSE. Final boss, fries or wedges? I'm a fries guy. Professor nowadays, does feudal lords exist in England? Depends on how you view a feudal lord, sir. Obviously not. I feel like you're trying to fuck with my head right now. Anyway, boys and girls, I think I am going to go momentarily, but I do have somebody based for you to head over to who is basically the Australian version of me. So what I'm going to do is the name of this guy's name's Dougie. He will be live for the entire watch along for this event. He does so every week. He also does a stream every 2 days, every day, I think. I think he does one every morning. And he live stream every event. He makes great videos. He's a based son of a bitch, and I think you'll enjoy the hell out of him. So head over to Dougie's Corner. I've put the link in the description. Give the guy a shout. Show the guy some love. Tell him where you came from, and yeah, have a good time over there. Why did you choose to become a professor? It kind of felt like natural progression. I started out as a high school teacher, and then moved my way up. I mean, you could head over to MMA Guru as well, but he has so many chat members now. Your voice is just going to be blanked out. All right, EXO. All right, I'll do it. Fucking hell, sorry. I'll do that as soon as I get off here. Thanks for coming by, Wahid. Sorry, Professor, if you got offended by a few of my comments. Absolutely not. Anything goes here. He didn't say anything too offensive. It was just, it's all banter. You know, I'm not that sensitive. Unknown. I've got to head off because, as I was telling you guys earlier, my son currently has a fever, so I kind of need to stay by his side at the moment. I only just put him to bed before I came on here, and I was seriously questioning whether I should come on tonight. But I need to make sure that he's all right. He's all right through the evening. You know, one thing I won't tolerate is being a terrible father. So as I said, head over to Dougie's Corner, show the man some love. Again, show him where you came from, and have a wonderful day. I will be back tomorrow. We're probably gonna do a panel of some kind. I hope you all enjoy the fight card. Swervo, shout out to you, bro. I know you just turned up. Shout out to you as well. Um, Chon Pen, nice to meet you as well. Hopefully you'll turn up on the next one. And yeah, we'll have a proper catch up. Octogram, thank you very much for turning up as well. Appreciate you. Needless, appreciate that as well. Yeah, I'm gonna be worried all evening unless I keep an eye on him. So I will not be leaving his side for the rest of the night. Take it easy, guys. Um, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope you enjoy the cards. I will catch you all tomorrow, where we'll hopefully do a panel in a bit, guys. Head over to Dougie's Corner. Dougie's Corner. I'll post it one more time. In a bit, gentlemen.